Hey everyone, welcome back to GGN. This is part 2. It's going to be the final part for today for Wednesday, February 19th, 2014. I did have a website that I post to ggnonline.net. Some people were saying that it was down. I can get to it, so I'm pretty sure it's still up. I paid for the domain recently and renewed it. ggnonline.com, that was pretty much taken from me. I wasn't allowed to renew it, so I was a bad boy with that. And then with my DDarko 2012 account, like I made my first video since I've been back last week, they took that from me too, so I had over 1,000 videos. So again, bad boy, Mr. Darko. So I'm going to talk about some weather because that seems to be one of the issues that anybody can really talk about. Did you know? Have you guys noticed that? Me personally, I like to joke around. I like to be upbeat, but and that's a good way to be able to talk to people about certain issues. Plus, it's just healthier. I don't like doing that. I went through that mode of being so serious all the time. You know, like I mentioned last week, you get kind of burnt out from it. It's just not good to be in that state all the time. So. But it's important, I think. That's one of my things is I'd like to stress in my life through these videos is that I think it is important to talk about things seriously on a regular basis because then nothing will change. The biggest thing is a mindset change. People have to change the way they see, not just the way they see the world, but the way they interact with each other. So. And you know, online's great because we could find other people that are doing it, but also there'll be new people that come on here. Anyways, people, the only thing that they seem to ever want to talk about is, man, I can't wait till spring's here. And trust me, I can't wait either. You know, I slipped when I got down on the stairs. Luckily, I didn't break anything, but you know, on that point, that's the only thing that they can talk about is the weather, and I'm just so sick of talking about it. I'd like to move on, but in this video we're going to talk about it because we're going to talk about weather modification. So it's just unbelievable the disconnect people have with nature. You guys have probably noticed that how and this is the way our life is now, but to be able to be so disconnected with not just nature but with reality and with logic, it's unbelievable, but it makes sense as to why Americans, just in particular Americans, but many people in, quote, advanced societies, you know, I call engineered societies, are. They just take it completely. That's the scientific dictatorship, because you don't know that you're not free. You don't know that you're a slave. You don't know that you're not thinking for yourself, that everything is handed to you from Miley Cyrus in music, country, what? I'm just going to go on a tangent here. You know, listen to country at work. These people blasting these songs. It's like the same 4 songs over and over, and they all sound the same. There's a R&B/pop Miley Cyrus. They play the same songs over and over and over again. You know, with the country channel, they don't even put in like Hank Williams Jr. I mean, I'm not even a country fan. It's my least favorite type of music, but they don't even just throw in older songs, Garth Brooks or something. They just play this new shit. And someone else mentioned the same thing. They're just going to blend it, right? They're just going to blend all the music, country, into this, you know, into the pop, Kate Perry/Miley Cyrus type stuff. And they're just going to have one type of music, right? One type of global mind. And that's what they're doing right now. Man, I mean, I like country if they actually played like more banjo and fiddles and stuff where people made their own instruments and there had soul behind it and they had strife and pain, but that's what made life worth living. It made them better people, you know, richer in character. That's the type of country I wouldn't mind hearing, you know. That's what bluegrass was all about and stuff. Mountain music, that I like. But so yeah, that's how it is nowadays. That's how people's way of interacting with each other has changed. On that note, bringing it back to the weather. Yeah, you probably can't hear it, but this little microphone actually picks up a lot of stuff. So you might actually hear people all, loud in the back, my next door neighbors in my apartment just getting rowdy or whatever, because it's warm out, right? It's just like bust out the barbecue and everybody's happy and stuff. And, so, it's nice because, you get spring fever and stuff. But, dude, we just went from sub-zero temperatures, 30 below just a couple weeks ago to, I see it in my thing, 40 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be 50 degrees. Everybody's all happy. One person I talked to, he considers himself, I think he considers himself like a Christian conservative. I talked about this with him. He went and looked down and came back, and he was talking about how he believes that, a lot of the conservatives, they'll be like, oh yeah, global warming is a myth. Global warming is a myth. There is no global warming, and to a certain extent they're right. But they won't go too far, right? I think they only say that because it somehow helps out the energy companies. You have to think about it from that perspective. But I pointed out, he's like, man, this is great. It's 49 degrees, blah, blah, blah. And I could just see him out there fucking hosing us outside our little factory. And they're just hosing us. Everything's melting, real fast. Of course, the flooding's occurring. And all of this is because they're rushing it. Because you're going from extreme cold, which I don't think they could really fight. And now with the solar activity, that's what I was going to get into. Recently, we had some pretty crazy solar activity, sunspot activity. But so they're piggybacking off that. You got the solar sunspots. It's just at that time of the year where if they just spray the shit out of us like they are, and they have been last week at least, and pulse us, that they could warm it up. They could actually warm it up. And that's why we've seen so much snow in the last, month, and just recently. They're even calling for more snow next week. And you got to remember, it's like the rain. I've mentioned this before. It's not like they're trying to make it rain or snow. It's that they're just trying to make it warmer or modify the weather in a certain way. And the byproduct, the side effect of manipulating the weather is that it drops precipitation, and so you'll get snow or you'll get rain. It's a pretty serious thing what they're doing, but it's a good sign because, like in the last video, there are signs that show you that the globalists are actually losing power. Maybe there's shifts in power, but I don't think that they're getting exactly what they want. I covered this last year about how this was going to be a brutal and long winter, and it was. The scientists were talking about a solar minimum cycle. Now all of a sudden we have sunspots larger than Jupiter continue to unleash solar flares February 13th, 2014. So now it's just lighting up. So with this type of change, this rapid change that they're doing, because it is man-made climate change, that it's modifying the weather, you're going to have what? You're going to have people probably getting sick. You're going to have what? The Earth probably kind of getting sick, right? You're going to see tornadoes. They're already calling for it. The slush, when they do that, when they throw in these warm days, cold days, a lot of people are going to be slipping on that slush. Not just ice, but slush. So you can actually think that people are going to get hurt and get in accidents and have damage to their homes from all the flooding because of weather modification. The amount of damage that this crap inflicts on people's lives is just unbelievable, the cost. But it's just, what pisses me off is that you'll have these douchebags come out there like John Kerry and talk about how climate change is what? It's as dangerous as WMDs, and you need to take the precautions, right? Yeah, so Secretary of State, Skull and Bones, John Kerry says scientific evidence of global warming due to greenhouse gas emissions, not chemtrails, is beyond doubt. So this is the type of handshake where you grab them and you pull them in, right? And he's like, I don't know. Well, that's the guy for the Chinese Chinese leader, but it was Indonesia, and this was February 17th. I think it was updated, but speaking of climate change, climate change may increase volcanic eruptions January 2nd of last year. We've seen lightning coming out of the Icelandic volcanoes. Some people think that that was payback. It was very timely. I mean, it's not unknown for volcanoes that happen there, but it was so big it was shutting down half of flights, wasn't it? Grounding flights in Europe. Because they help their country defend themselves against these bankers and the banks. And they did it, without firing a shot, which is pretty noble, I guess. Indonesia, February 14th. Indonesia volcano erupts, 3 killed, 100,000 evacuated. So maybe that's what Kerry's talking about, right? If they can actually, I think they can create everything. I think they create extreme heat. I think they create snow, hail, lightning, volcanoes, earthquakes. That's what weather modification entails. This was February 2nd, so this is about a month ago. 15 were killed in Indonesia. I didn't even know about that. I saw this article from Blacklisted, February 16th. Nanomotors controlled inside living human cells for the first time. So, yeah. Right? And propelled by ultrasonic waves and steered by magnets. I don't know how people are going to do this. They're going to be doing all these things, interacting with this technology, and they're going to be having radio frequencies and stuff pulsing through their head. They're going to have microchips and all this crap, and they already are starting to do that. Google Glasses, where you're going to have these low frequencies pulsing through them, and it's not going to just have a physical effect through low doses of radiation, which have been approved by the FDA just so you know, to not be harmful or cause cancer. But also it's going to affect your body, again, like we were talking about affecting nature, affecting your body, the weather change. It's going to affect your brain waves. So, again, just another thing. And people are already used to that with the cell phones, with the Bluetooths. They're glued to those freaking things. You actually will hear people say, the phone's like an extension of me, right? Nanomotors controlled inside living human cells for the first time. So, yeah, I already read that. But they already are, right? In chemtrails. In chemtrails, or aerosols, that's what I prefer, the term, because people don't look at you like you're a quack and tune out. What? Nanofibers. That's one of the big things. Nanofibers in these chemtrails. You can see in the snow, too, the way some of the snow is. I actually saw snow in the beginning of winter. That was like 2.5, 3 months ago. It's been a while since I made videos. I wish if I was still making videos, I would have mentioned it. Was that there was snow that was falling on me, and I had a black jacket, and there was, like all snowflakes don't look alike supposedly. These things were just. I'm trying to remember what they looked like, but they did not look natural at all. That's basically what the best way to describe it, the way it looked. They just look like all homogeneous sized particles. And just some extra news I'll throw in here at the end is the droughts. So you're going to have flooding now from this. When you carry out weather modification, you're going to have places where their water is sucked from them, and other places where they have too much water. So again, an imbalance. That's the thing. That's kind of the theme I want to stress as far as this video goes with weather modification. It creates an imbalance. Then, of course, you have natural things taking place. Low sunspot activity. You have cooling cycles or ice ages. You have pole shifts. Some people think there's going to be a reversal in poles. And then you have, the planet's moving, our star system is moving through different parts of the galaxy. I'm sure it's going to have some kind of effect on us. So, but those are the realms that the scientists don't ever touch. Another is astrology. StarIQ.com. They're the best I've ever seen as far as daily horoscopes. They nail it. I mean, today I thought people were going to chop each other's heads off at work, and the first thing I thought, because I haven't looked at anything lately, was I'm going to go check out what's happening. We try to keep negative feelings to ourselves today, but we still express them anyhow. That's what people were doing. I felt that within myself. I'm like, dude, just shut up. Don't partake in this circus show right now. And that's what I did, and the day got better. So anyways, thank you, and God bless.